I think your microphone's off, Ned.
Hello.
Hello. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
And Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year too.
Where are you calling in from, Nad? Are you still in Montpellier?
Yeah. It's a raining day.
Oh, yeah. I'm here in Paris. And Tofi, you said you were calling in from Portugal.
Yeah, just a layover. I'm heading
layover.
roughly towards Ned, a little bit north.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've both met ever. Is this the first time, right?
I think so. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Enchanté.
No, I never met Topher, but I already heard about this project since, I don't know, long time ago, I think. The first time I saw it on the internet.
Wow. We're about to get real now, because now we're all working together. Up until now, it was just practice for us.
We're talking about getting real. Nad, I don't know if maybe you could just give an introduction and share what you were talking about with me last time. You said about a new project in January or 2024 in Rimba, but just so that Topher gets an insight to the world of Rimba.
Yeah, Topher, you know a bit about my nonprofit or or nothing?
No, I know a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, we have a natural reserve of 450 hectares, and also we buy forest like Calawet. So all the forests surrounding the natural reserve to make it bigger and to make also a kind of buffer zone around the reserve. And this year we want to add what do you say? We want to protect more this area. So I will find people to become rangers in the natural reserve. Yeah. Main problem is poaching and of course illegal logging. Yeah.
And this is which island is this on? This is in Philippines or in Sumatra? Or no, sorry, in Sumatra. Yeah.
It's Sumatra. It's not really far from the area of Calawet in Sumatra too.
Nice.
Maybe
Like west.
2.5 hours maybe by car.
Okay. Excellent.
They are more in the mainland, in the center, and our reserve is near the sea.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's also really interesting because there are not a lot of forest remaining like that in the world where the forest can meet the sea, and so we have a really in terms of biodiversity we have a lot because we have animals from the sea like birds meeting the birds from the forest. Also with the plants, of course, we have really a huge biodiversity with plants because we have also mangrove, small mangrove, but still mangrove.
Excellent. That's amazing. I got so used to the only forest being like up in the mountain where people can't go to cut it. So it's really special that you have this forest that's lower down, especially near the water. Obviously.
And if I may, I suppose as an update, Nad, because I know the last time we spoke was before the holidays. So in terms of the art and the NFT side of things, my brother Effendi, who you met last time, so he's working on art that's going to be in touch with what you just shared with Topher. You know, this idea of its very unique ecosystem. So reflecting that visually, and we started that conversation with you, Topher, last time with Cole. The idea to integrate the metadata in this NFT. So you've got the visual art and then the proof of impact, whether it's audio or video files. And is it still the plan, Nad, for you to go to Rimba in February?
Sorry, the microphone was off. Yeah. I'm going there from. I will be there on the 4th of February, until the 23rd.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then from the 23rd, you're back to France or going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, Topher, were you planning again, if I'm not mistaken, to be in the region that time of year, or?
There's no specific plan, but it's looking like February we would be in Sarawak, so not too far.
Oh, yeah.
And could definitely come over if there was something to do, which is great. And just so we're clear, like at that time, what would you be looking to do in that area at that time?
So, Dad, yeah, what's your plan in February when you're at Rimba?
I will stay there and having a look to the non-profit to see if everything is good. Speaking with the staff there, because there are 7 people working for the non-profit. So yeah, like usually having a look to each project and speak with the guys, try to improve or see if there are some trouble that we have to find solution or anything. Yeah. And there are also 3 trainers, you say, from an engineering university from France. So they will be there also at this time. They will spend 4 months. So I will meet them also, and we will speak about their mission there, what they have to do, and things. Yeah, they will put also camera trap in the forest. From I think they arrive in 5 days there.
Okay.
So once they arrive, they will directly go to the reserve to put camera trap.
Yeah. So, so they're going to be there 4 months, you said. So around April time is also the time we had projected to have the Rimba NFT collection ready by. So I think between now and then, for that collection, any kind of relevant impact data that could be included as a first batch of data, but then over time it can be updated anyway, given the technology. You can add any new data points over time. And I think, Cole, you shared a link out in the chat. Yeah, so maybe you could share the screen, Cole. Do you want to share the screen and give a tour of the Impact Web3 platform? Because
yeah,
I don't think it's been
to.
seen by either Nad or Topher, so that'll be kind of cool.
Here, 1 second. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? Oh, okay, perfect.
I can see it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So over the last month, we kind of developed a proof of concept, kind of leading towards our MVP to show the proof of impact platform. And as you can see, we got Rimba here, and then the Padawan NGO network as well. And then this allows our community to sign up for the first NFT drop with Rimba, get on our wait list, some information about PIP, also, if any other future organizations want to get involved, they can also join our wait list. And then we also created a proof of impact NFT marketplace where users can go and buy NFTs and connect their crypto wallets as well. What will allow us to kind of display the proof of impact Rimba NFTs for that first drop. And right now we have our Cardano impact reports, as you can see here. And then something also cool, we integrated the ability to like swap Cardano native tokens through our platform as well. So right now we just have some tokens that we outlined in the Cardano impact report in 2023, but we plan to kind of update over time. And also for like any NGO or a project who we're like associated with, we've also have the ability to like enter data. So like the organization's name, the recorder of that information, and the KPIs we define and the SDGs that they impact as well. And that's kind of like a first version of that. That definitely will change over time. And then also a page to kind of dive into what we're trying to build, why, what it is, why it's important, and what the proof of impact NFTs actually are. So yeah, that's just kind of like a quick little overview of what we've been building, and a good like kind of proof of concept to show everyone what we're trying to reach towards and make happen, really.
Thank you, Cole.
Of course.
Yeah, because to reiterate, and as you might be aware of, right, Topher, like this idea, the concepts we were talking about with tokenizing audio from the rainforest and then having that in a way monetized to support on-the-ground impact. The Project Catalyst funding that we got to help do this with Rimba will be the first of its kind, as far as we know. So I literally had a call just a couple of hours ago with members from the French Dance Federation who are preparing for their breakdancing team to be at the Olympic Games. And the reason I mentioned this is because, you know, the members of these big household names, when you speak to their teams, they all have very common challenges. You know, when we talk about impact on the society and also funding. So all of the associations that are producing these talented athletes, they go on a journey, and that journey has to be funded. Their training camp has to be funded. They have fans along the way. And I think similarly to any nonprofit that's talking about tackling, social and environmental issues, who does that resonate with? They can potentially make a donation, right? But as we've seen over the years, the lack of transparency in the giving market has led to fraud and all kinds of scandals. And all of the research around like Generation Alpha and this kind of raising the bar on expectations, where our goods are coming from, the regulations in the EU looking at making it mandatory for all kinds of commodities to be authenticated, whether or not they say they're sustainable, having that provable and verifiable. This is the future, and we're building something to be future proof, and we would want it to remain true to the original ethos of this technology, which is it's pushing power to the edges and giving it to the people that are on the frontiers, on the front lines, and having the partnerships with those who have been doing very important work for years, decades, and struggling to continue to do it. And so, I think this is where the intersection is in this Web3 ecosystem. How does the finance and capital get deployed for maximum impact, and who are those actors to help direct that flow? Because you know, if you're not in this ecosystem and you just Google search some keywords, you know, you don't know sometimes who's who and what's real, because there's unfortunately even in recent news, you know, scams happening, people's wallets with their funds being drained, and that's happening to people in the ecosystem who have been here for years. So it's like you can understand why some people outside are concerned about how this technology is meant to have any positive change or impact, because they're concerned about the news they're hearing. So they don't want to unleash that on their community or their customers if they feel that it might be exposing them to risks as well when it comes to funds. So we're also making sure we build everything on this platform, the smart contract side, everything with partners who have a very, you know, strong level of competence and transparency, because that's the ultimate name of the game, right? If we are talking about funds raised and they're safe when they're going from A to B to C, that has to be auditable. So we have partners who work in that domain as well, because not everyone is going to be knowledgeable of how to read a smart contract, NFT that, you know, may represent art. But on the other hand, it's the other point of it is to automate payments, right? So if you buy something, automatically payment goes to the wallet that's managed by the nonprofit. So that side of things has to be also explained accordingly to every partner. And we were talking about that with Nad. You know, the community in their locality have you know, there's a school there, there's different economic opportunities with fish farming, for instance. But additionally, there's opportunities here, right, to bring funding to those communities with NFTs as a vehicle. But people just need to know that it's something safe and legal. So that's all the type of steps we're taking.
So the NFTs are going to be based on data coming out of Rimba, right? Correct. And I mean, they may help others, but at least one of the projects is going to be data that's flowing out of Rimba, whether it's audio, images, stories, the rest. They'll be used to attach the NFTs. Is that correct?
I just didn't catch the last part. They'll be used to
attach the NFTs. Like the NFTs will be generated based upon data that's flowing out of Rimba from the ground. Is that correct?
Yeah. So that's one of the kind of value add, right? It's not just an image and that's it. It's embedded with data from the ground.
Cool. So then,
also, sorry, my bad.
Yep.
You can
sure.
go.
So, I mean, I guess the question, what kind of data are we looking for? I assume it's, in our case, the audio, and what is the timeline to when you would need it in order to meet the plans you have for the next year?
Yeah. So we had projected April as when the collection would be ready for the public. So between now and April, I know Nad's already been, given the non-profit actions in the process annually of collecting data and using that in their annual reports. So we would use that as the data as well. And as she mentioned, with the natural reserve, the funds are in priority to be used to support the purchase of land for then the non-profit conservation. So there's kind of the data that's retroactive, and then the data that will come over time once the funds are used for what they're supposed to be used for.
Okay, so the collection goes live in April. At least that's the plan. Nad is planning to go on the ground in February. There's not a lot of time between those two. There's also not a lot of time between now and February.
Yeah.
But I assume that in order for this to work in April, we would need to leverage and get some degree of measurements or recording happening in Rimba. as soon, like when that's there. Like that.
Yeah.
Something we also could do if like that timeline's not perfect is any NFT that is purchased or sent to a specific wallet, we're able to redo those NFTs in a way, so we can kind of burn them all automatically through this platform, and then we'll be able to just remint them so that we could reattach that data if it wasn't available at the time of minting them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we can also there's high end ways to do it and there's lower end ways to do it. That will end up, having the same output for the users, because I can think of some ways to do it that don't require us to put up, those like live streaming devices. But I could send that some hardware that she puts up or her team puts up in the forest, records, uploads it, and then it becomes tagged and available for your NFT. And then as far as the users are concerned, they probably wouldn't know much of a difference. It is real data from the forest. The question is whether that might be a easier thing to accomplish in that timeline, especially given that there's no funding for it. Right?
Yeah, and to that point about the funding, so the proposal I shared that we are waiting on until third week of Feb for the results. So that one was with the Streets of Ada and Palawan NGO network. But in terms of proving that's possible, and trying to do it with the partners that are open to making that possible, that's pretty much a blank canvas, because obviously we're working with Rimba, we're working together, and Palawan NGO in this first instance. But the concept is open for anyone who's interested really in making that something they want to make part of their revenue fundraising strategy. But yeah, the funding we hopefully can secure in February for the Streets of Ada plus impact NFTs and the portion to support with the Guardians or the Rainforest Connection integration. That wouldn't, if we get the funding, be unlocked until March, and that's then monthly based on the KPIs and projects impact objectives. So timeline-wise, the Rimba funding we got, I say April because that was obviously the last batch of funding for that specific NFT collection. But this idea we're discussing, it's not just something for a one-off anyway. So it can move beyond April if the timeline is too short for what we're talking about. It doesn't have to be for that April collection if that's too short for certain data.
Well, I mean, it doesn't need to be. It could absolutely work. Maybe not in like the final implementation, but like it's not held up because we want all the funding to go to the people on the ground anyway. Except for maybe some of the grant funding we get. So let's find the most effective, or the most cost-effective way to do it.
Yeah.
I would propose a call, NAD, or with NAD at some point over the next couple of weeks or so, to kind of sketch that out, and maybe I can send you some hardware that isn't hard to set up, and give you a way in which it gets up in the system with tag and stuff. Would that work? Because then because then you're gonna have that stuff to work with as soon as March to get the launch out. Right.
Well, that would be awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, I suppose Nad and yourself can keep in contact as you both head towards Sarawak and Sumatra in the coming weeks, and have another call.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I don't know if I'm the only one, but I don't hear Topher really clearly.
Oh, sorry.
It does. I think it's the
Sorry.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's sometimes patching out. Yeah.
I think it's very noisy here. Okay, but anyway, Rizal, Raz, you got me, so you can explain it.
Yeah, right. I will, and it's recorded as well, so we'll be able to cross-reference what I think I heard and what was said. But yeah, well, thanks for obviously sitting here today and sharing the ideas, and really appreciate Topher. I know, it's a lot of different ideas that are kind of trying to filter down right now, and many things on your plate, I can imagine. So yeah, appreciate you taking the time. Is there do you have any questions?
I would just like for us to do the most realistic thing in the shortest term possible, so that you have stuff to work with. And I think we can. If Matt's going to go there, if I can send her some stuff, it'll be super easy to set up. Maybe it's 1 or 2 calls that we have, and then you guys will have it ready for your checkbook. So I think that seems doable.
Awesome. I don't know if you heard that, Nad.
Not well. Maybe after the meeting, Raz, you stay with me and like 5 more minutes to repeat it. I'm sorry.
And
also,
go ahead, Cole.
Topher, I reached out to the New Zealand guys, and I'm in the middle of a conversation, but should have like someone from the Department of Conservation maybe who would be interested in talking about trying to integrate that into their like zones throughout New Zealand, and trying to track and trace the biodiversity in those areas as well. Because I know that's something they definitely could benefit from, and so I'll keep you updated on that wherever when I get a reply and whatnot. So yeah.
Okay.
So Tofi, you're in a layover, right? Are you flying soon?
Yeah, I'm planning to. I'm going to jump off, but I think the most important thing I think is that we get some stuff that you explained and the rest said, and then we'll have a conversation together in the next week or so. Thanks.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks,
I'll set it up in the Google Meet. Take care. Okay, Nad. We can stay on if it's good for you.
Yeah.
Let me,
because I didn't heard.
Yeah, let me stop the recording. 1 sec. I just pushed record again. If you could just repeat what you said, because I think that's really helpful what you said. Thank you.
Okay. So because I make an inventory of all the species that we can find in the natural reserve, and I do that for many reasons. First reason, I'm a really generous person, so I put all my datas on public platform, scientific platform for free. Like it can be useful for scientists, and also because if we can prove that we have endangered species in this area, it's a proof, especially to the government, the local government, but also to donator, to prove that this area must be really protected because we have this endangered species living inside. And so yeah, I can send you a list of all the endangered species that we can find in this area. It can be data, also interesting data.
Thank you, Nad. Yeah, I think that's something that once again will produce the why. So people sometimes think, why are you using blockchain or NFTs? And then, as you said, the data of the areas that are in urgent need of support to be protected, that is the proof of why we're doing what we're doing. And then we're using these tools because it's a way to bring transparency and minimize some of the costs that are usually involved in traditional international NGOs, right? So a more direct way of funding impact on where it's needed.
I use also these data to raise awareness to local population. For example, so we have many species of bats So I explained to the villagers and the kids that if they don't protect their forest, if they cut all the forest, the bats, they will die or move to another place. And if there are no bats anymore in the area, they will not get durian, the fruits durian anymore. Like
No, we want to do
this is their favorite fruit.
Yeah. Oh,
So if you give example, really concrete example to
Yeah.
them, it works better. So
that's really
but
good. Yeah.
because it's not bees or other small insects that make the durian tree having fruits. That's only the bats.
Oh, is it? I didn't know.
Only the bats. So if you don't have bats in an area, you will not have durian anymore.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's
Wow, okay.
important also to know which species you have and try to make connection between the species that live in this forest and the local population, what they will lost. If they lost
Yeah.
the bats, they will also lose durian, for example.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That what you just said gave me an idea of Batman, the character Batman. But can you imagine a new character with durian?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that connection being
Maybe a
done.
Batman with a draw of a durian on.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't think it's been done before. And yeah, durian. Do you know durian, Cole? Have you ever heard of this fruit?
No, I have not, but I'm a big lover of fruit, so I have a lot of interest in what kind of bats are these as well?
You mean the species?
Yeah, what kind of species?
Oh, I don't have the scientific name in my head like that. I have to read my list. But it's we have fruit bats and also insectivore bats. And one species of these fruit bats really like the flower of the durian tree. So they take the pollen. I don't know if you use this word in English, the pollen.
Yeah.
From the flower and move to other flower, and only these bats are doing this.
Wow. So they kind of
and durian fruits, you have to type durian on Google to see what it is. It's a really big fruit. And for most of Western people, it's an horrible, really horrible, disgusting fruit. Smell bad, really disgusting. But yeah, this is the durian. But for Asian people, that's the best things to eat in the world. When it's the season of durian, they become all crazy with that. And me, the first time I tried this, I almost vomit. That was horrible. And then I tried a second time, then a third time, and the fourth time, suddenly I loved it. And it's what people in Asia they say you have to try 3 times to like it. And for me that works.
Have you ever seen the movie Land of the Lost?
Land of the Lost?
It's with like Will Ferrell. I'm pretty sure they have those type of fruits in that movie, and like yeah, it looks very similar, but I'm gonna have to try that. I wonder if I can get any from around here. We have a really cool Asian market, so maybe they have something there.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny as well, when you bring that, if you bring that on a public transport, even though it's in your bag, everyone around you is gonna be like, "What is that smell? What is gas?"
Like in Indonesia, it's forbidden to bring it in public transportation. It's also written in every airport. You have the symbol, the draw of the durian with the red things
Big
like
X.
forbidden in airport and everywhere.
Yeah, I'll smuggle you some, Cole. I'll
You're
post
gonna
it to
have
you.
to.
And durian are also important because the tigers they love
Yeah.
durians also. The tigers love eating. They are normally carnivore, but they eat also durian. So
Yeah, and I'm a tiger, so that's why I think I grew up with that bond with the durian.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's so cool. I didn't realize that bats actually did that. Like they
Yeah,
helped pollinate, like kind of like bees in a way, right?
yeah,
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's really really cool. I kind of want to dive more into that because I had no idea. And when I was in New Zealand, actually, one of the projects we were focused on was capturing these bats and then tagging them so that we could see like their like roaming patterns, kind of, or where they were like traveling to, and like what special places on the islands they were going. So yeah, that's really cool, and I have a lot of interest in that. And yeah.
Wow. So, if we're at Rimba, Nad, is it easy to find those type of bats?
yeah, but you must. I mean, we know that we have these bats because we had 2 times guests who came to Rimba, and they were Kiro, that's the people specialist in bats, but they brought their equipment, so the net, the special nets, and also the kind of machine to.
Locate where they are, kind of, right?
They can how do you say enregistrer how do you
Like
say enregistrer
record.
record the sound of the bats that you cannot hear,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so they carved some bats and also can make the relation between the bats they carved and the sound they record, to know exactly the species. And so I have many pictures of these bats because the bats was in the end of the guy
Yeah.
like that,
Oh,
and he measure everything, the size of the ears
yeah.
and
I
the
remember when
size
we
of
were
the
last
wings.
in Rimba. There was that French family. I think they were French or from Switzerland, and he was recording
Yeah.
the bats when Sarah and I were with you. And did you get to hold them, Cole, when you were doing it in New Zealand?
So I didn't myself, but so my best friend on the project was, and they'd go out at like 4 or 5 a.m. and like catch them in these huge nets, and like with those devices, that's how they would like know if they were nearby. And it was so cool. Like and they're like the smallest little bats, like fit right in your hand. Like it's pretty cool. I'll have to share
So
some
yeah.
of those photos.
So I guess with the device that TOFA Rainforest Connection have, with the AI, they could probably, with the sound of the bat, they can already say it's this species, because of the AI sensing.
Yeah, but you
So
must record the ultrasounds.
yeah, but
So
I don't know.
probably with the
I think
with
it
this.
does pick up that data though, because he said it picks up like sounds that humans couldn't hear. So
Okay.
I bet the bats it could pick up, but I'm not positive on that.
Okay. So that could be like you said, with the photos you have, Nad, of the different species. That's so that's the visual element, and then you've got the sound that goes with it, and then creating NFTs that are unique for each sound, and then the visual. So, and you mentioned Kiru. Is it? You said the specialist of the bat. How do you spell that?
No, it's it's the name of, I don't know the name in English. It's like for scientists who work about snake. They are herpetologue. For those who work on birds, they are ornithologue. That's the French name. I don't know in English.
Oh yeah. Oh, so for the bats, it's called what?
Crypto.
It's called crypto.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think not crypto. Kiro. Sorry, Kiro.
I was about to say crypto. Okay, Kiro. Wow. Okay.
Like this kind
Yeah.
of. I'll type it into chat.
I think
Like
it's a Y. But let me.
Okay.
It'd
be cool to have like maybe a couple.
Oh no, it's not a Y. It's a yeah, chiropterolog. CHIRO and
Okay.
PTEROLO. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe I can write it.
I got I see what you mean. Pathologists and chiropterologists. Right.
Chiropterolog. Yeah, you can say chiropterologist or chiropterolog. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe chiropterolog is in the French version.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, these are useful words because I think when we create the the different art as well, you can have names of the characters or name of the pieces. So for the bat specialists, you've got this, and then for the bird specialists, each category, right? Okay.
It could be going back to your Batman idea. It could be cool to honestly have like a couple NFTs like that, like almost like special NFTs of the collection, like with the fruit or the kind of like what you were saying before.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there just to make it a bit like funny, right?
Yeah,
because like you said, Nad, if they realize what they're losing, like durian is at stake, then they obviously don't want that to happen. And I think on the other side, if people see a visual that's either funny or something they can relate to, then that makes them more interested as well. Like if you show a picture of a bat, not everyone's gonna feel like a positive feeling because they might be like, So yeah, we got to think about that side of it as well when we visualize this whole story. Yeah. Well, thank you, Nad, for taking the time again. How's Inea? Is she's still on holiday, or is it school?
No. She started school. On Monday, and
exactly. Well.
Today is Wednesday, so she's not at school.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks again too, Cole. I know it's I don't know.
Of course. It's not too early. It's not the 3 a.m. but no. So great to catch up with you, Nad, and really looking forward to checking out the impact data and stuff you guys already collected, and we can start to kind of look through that and kind of create some like standard base KPIs to start adding more data over time. And maybe even if there was a change from the last time you sent data to now, we could use the first data you sent and then also show this next data that has changed, just show like the update, if that makes sense. And how, we've gotten more land, this is the impact. Now we're sequestering this much carbon instead of before, and it could show like kind of your progress as well. I think that could be a cool idea as well.
Yeah.
All right then. I'm gonna stop the recording now then.